there's a million different freaking CRMs out there, you guys, lots of CRMs, and there's lots of great CRMs out there. But what you need to do is you need to make an educated decision on which one you're going to go to next, because here's the reality. Switching CRMs freaking sucks. It's like a steel wool enema. Yeah, put that visual in your mind. Not fun, right? So what do you need to do? You want to make sure that the next CRM you go to is going to be able to grow and scale with you over the next decade. So what does that look like? Well, I can tell you that CRMs are a dime a dozen, except for the really good ones. Now, when you start getting into the good ones like Firepoint that can actually scale and grow with you over the next decade, you need to really start understanding what they do best. What is it about that CRM that makes it special? So I'm here with Dave Warner, and we're going to be Dale Warner, and we're going to be talking about what is it that Firepoint does best. We're going to keep this super short because I want you guys to be able to consume this and understand very quickly what the top 3 things is or are that Firepoint does best. So Dale, take it away. Tell us, what are your top 3 features or benefits?
Yeah, so I want to rattle off the top 3. And then I want to share, if you don't mind, I want to share a couple of thoughts about the CRM world and about the industry, and then we'll go into some more detail on those top 3.
Sounds
Number
good.
one, it's kind of a combo, but it's this concept of lower cost to maintain your business. So we can keep up with the big dogs. There's a couple of CRMs in the all-in-one lead generation, CRM, website, IDX, all that kind of stuff. They're very expensive, and that works for some people because they like the features, they like the style. But if you really want to maintain consistency, like you said, Michael, switching CRM stinks. Mm-hmm. And if you have a CRM that costs you $1,500 a month and the market tightens up, or you want to move marketing dollars around, it becomes difficult. Now, again, it works for some people. I'm not making a blanket statement, but for those that are trying to get into things and still in experimental mode, I highly recommend getting something that is lower cost that can still scale up, like Firepoint. So not only is our base platform fee much lower than the competition, I'm talking a third. We also have low cost lead generation. We do managed pay-per-click. And so if people already have some lead sources that they want, but they want to supplement their lead sources, we can send and convert traffic to a website that we build, and it will help you supplement these lead sources. And again, very low cost. They're not shared leads. They are high quality search engine leads that show higher intent than other lead sources. And we maintain some of the lowest averages in the industry. So that's
really quickly
number
on that,
one.
To that point, I love the pay-per-click leads because they're higher intent, shorter cash conversion cycle lead source, and they're a lot higher ROI than a lot of lead sources. And I like that, when you're doing your own, when somebody's having Firepoint manage their PPC, they're getting that as an exclusive lead. So I think that's huge. And to your point, you guys are a third of the cost of a lot of the bigger platforms or I should say more expensive platforms. And yet you still have a lot of the functionality and really, truly, you've got all the functionality somebody needs in tiers 2, 3, 4. Somebody could very easily do 250 deals a year using your platform and not even skip a beat. I mean, it's a very robust platform for that. And it's an affordable price point.
Yeah, we've got really busy teams that have, they're spending $10,000, $20,000 a month in pay-per-click with us, and that scales. And so they have lots of agents. They're able to manage the agents, track the agents through our platform, and yet we're a much lower cost than some of the competitors. So yeah, the cost is a big one. Obviously, I wouldn't say that most buying decisions should be made solely on price. Sure. I think that's not wise, especially when you're talking about business. Yeah. But like you said, we have the value there, but we're trying to help people grow. So we want to get people in that have been in the business for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe they've been in for 8 years and they want to scale their team up. We're a great solution for that because of our cost structure. So number one, cost, especially the cost per leads. We're really great at that. Number two, something that you talk about all the time, Michael, accountability.
Oh my gosh, such a big deal. Truly, it really is.
Right. If you're generating leads, of course, every team leader knows this. I better be able to track what's going on with those leads. Yep. Not only do I want to know what the ROI is on all my different lead sources, I want to be able to look at how productive my agents are being with leads. Now, we talk about this concept all the time. I don't know what your philosophy is on this, so chime in. But we internally, we have this philosophy that for every trailing indicator, for every metric in your business that you're tracking that trails activity, you need to have 2 leading indicators that you're tracking. So if I'm tracking sales dollars that come out of my funnel, what are the 2 things that are activities that my agents should be doing that equal the dollars out the other side? I want to focus on those. What are the leading indicators? In other words, how many dials are they making? How many content? How many appointments? It's all the activity that equals the dollars. The leading or the trailing indicators, those things that are numbers, deals closed, volume, those are easy to track. It's obvious. Everybody knows what they are. But the leading indicators, the predictive indicators, those are where we want to spend the most time. So ROI on your lead spend, number of dials your agents are making, and this might just be for yourself, by the way, right? So the number of calls that I'm making, how many inbound calls am I getting? And we can also track those by lead source and by pawns and other things like that. So pawns ties into my next point, which is
actually, let's hang on before you go to pawns. I want to touch on the accountability piece for a minute. Another nice thing about that, and for those of you that know about Clubwall Stat Tracker, one of the things that we're working right now, it's not done yet, but one of the things that is coming very soon is the API with Firepoint. So what will happen is Firepoint can automatically figure out, hey, how many calls did you make? How much time did you spend on each call on average? How many, how many calls transitioned into an appointment? All that. You can actually now have that data automatically sync with the Clubwall Stat Tracker. So now you can slice and dice it, compare it to other teams around the country, all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to do double the data entry. It's literally automatically tracked through Firepoint and pushed through to Stat Tracker. So that's a really big function. And then, so let's go to lead distribution, because that's also massive.
I would say lead distribution, hands down, best in the industry. Whenever anybody that's, we talk to consultants, coaches, team leaders that are really well versed in all the different CRMs, blown away by our lead distribution rules. You can do all kinds of really cool things. For example, if you have, so you could say, all right, send all of the leads to Tom that are over $750,000 purchase price. Send Bill all the leads that are in, Monument, Colorado, as opposed to Colorado Springs, Colorado. Send Jody all leads that come from Zillow. And you can then even parse it down further. So you can say, send all of these other leads that are above 750,000 that come from Zillow to Johnny. And so you can slice and dice your lead distribution based on which agents perform best in that specific niche or in that area. And so what you can do is drill down with specific scripts with your agents and create specialties. You can figure out how many leads you have coming in and parse them in a really smart way to your agents. And the beautiful thing is that if I have some complicated or some complex lead distribution rules that I'm using to optimize my lead conversion, but let's say Tom is too busy right now, we have these rip away rules so that if I can say 10 minutes, if we get these high quality leads in, and Tom doesn't respond to them in 10 minutes or 1 hour, it can go to Johnny. It can just go down the list. And if nobody claims it, or let's just say the next 2 agents don't claim that lead, it can go into a lead pond. And now all of my agents can have access to prospect from that lead pond. So the hungry agents can be watching and they can gobble up those leads and go after them with assertiveness, with purpose, with passion. So it gives an opportunity to the team to really grow. And you don't have to hold your agents back. You can get smart with how you're distributing your leads without holding yourself back, without getting this stack of 10 leads over here that just never got called because Tom's too busy.
Yep. That's huge. Well, and what's nice about that is, most big teams, they're hiring full-time positions to manage this stuff.
Right.
And so what you're saying is, hey, we can automate a lot of that process and make it so that you don't have to have an in-house person that's all they do is lead management. And so that's huge. That could save you as much as, 40, 50 grand a year for a full-time employee.
And if you look, right out of the gate, most people don't have very many rules around distribution. But there's teams like Chris McCullough down in Southern California who's been working with us for years and years now, and they're spending tens of thousands of dollars on lead generation. Over time, they have they have fine-tuned these lead distribution rules. And now when you go in and look at them, it might give some of us a headache the first time we look at it, but to him, it makes perfect sense because over time he has dialed in exactly what they're doing.
That's right.
And that's allowed them to scale up their budget because they're getting such a positive ROI on their ad spend from these different lead sources.
100%. You guys, and here's the thing, to that point, guys watching this, you understand this, you're not going to eat the whole elephant in one bite. You're going to have to take it one bite at a time. The software Firepoint does a lot more than you're going to be able to implement immediately. It's going to do a lot of stuff will be set up automatically for you so that you can just tweak it as time goes on, dial it in, make it even more efficient for you. But here's what I can tell you. You need to have a robust CRM. You need to have something that you can scale with. And if you're going to make a switch, by golly, make sure that it's to something that's going to work very long-term for you. Now, here's what I want you to, if you want to find out more about Firepoint, I want you to go to clubwealth.com/Firepoint. I'll give it to you again. It's clubwealth.com/Firepoint. And check them out. And you get a discount when you're with Club Wealth. They give you all kinds of special deals and all that with us. And so go to that website, take a look at Firepoint. Dale, you wanted to talk a little bit about the industry and then do a little deeper dive. Tell us about what's going on in the industry right now.
Yeah, you said it. It's really difficult to change CRMs. And there are a lot of CRMs available to a lot of people. What we've learned recently through some data collection and some research from some third-party sources, only about 10 to 15% of people that have access to a free CRM are using it and are happy with it.
Yep.
It just doesn't work for most people because I always say that CRMs are kind of like ice cream flavors. So your brokerage or your brand might be paying for a CRM and maybe it's Rocky Road, but your favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry. And so you're not doing yourself or your team any favors by sticking with a CRM that you don't like and you're not going to use to its fullest potential. And that's okay, because again, there's just different flavors and we all have preference. We all have our different style. But more importantly, Michael, there are different personas when we're talking about ourselves in the industry here. So us as agents, as teams, we have a different style of going after business and managing business and getting our repeat clients. Now, obviously, what you're doing at Club Wealth, you're teaching people to be well-rounded. So you're saying, look, you should also do this and you should also do this, and let's help you learn how to do this other thing that's going to give you a healthier business. But there are a lot of people in the industry that have a natural style. They might be a prospector. They might be a lead converter. They like doing the scripts. They like, calling leads. They love the thrill of converting leads. There's other people that just want to talk to their network. Maybe a lot of them have been in the business for a long time and they're tired of lead generation. They're tired of this other stuff. They don't like it. It's not their natural style. For us, fine. I want to help them. I want to make them more well-rounded. But for those people, I'm not going to recommend Firepoint. For somebody that wants a niche marketing, a niche website that markets to a specific area or a specific demographic, that's not great for Firepoint either. Now, a lot of people that are good at that networking persona or the marketing persona, they have a team and they still want to feed their buyer's agents and their listing specialists leads. That's where Firepoint fits in. So we're never going to try to shoehorn somebody into Firepoint. We really want to find out if they're a good fit. But just even if you're not considering Firepoint, I like to tell people to think about yourself. What's your natural style? And what are some complementary things that you can expand into? But you have to understand that it's a complementary thing. It's not my main focus. And that helps us psychologically get bought into using the thing. Yeah. Because, switching CRMs is a pain. And I don't want to belabor that point. I think maybe 10% of people that I talk to actually like CRMs, actually like their CRM. And there's 90% of us out there that feel like our CRM is a tyrant. And I think it's because we haven't found the right one. I think it's because we haven't found the one that really jives with our style. Because when you do find that product that fits with your style, it's fun.
It is, and it's effective, and it helps you make more money. It helps you stay more organized. It helps you not drop the ball on leads, so you're getting higher ROI on all your leads. At the end of the day, though, you got to freaking use it, right? And so it's the CRM. Like, you guys can go buy Firepoint, but Firepoint's not going to do all the work for you. You guys have to get into Firepoint. I'm talking to you agents watching right now. You and your team's got to get in there. You got to use it on a daily basis, and you got to make it your center point for everything you do. The CRM really should be the the main hub of your entire business. That's where it really runs off of that CRM, and anything you can possibly put in the CRM, that's where it goes. You don't want to have 10 different places you're storing data and information, all this stuff. Put it all in your CRM. Keep it all in one place. It'll make it a lot easier for you. You'll be a lot more efficient and effective, and it'll make training your agents a lot easier, which means onboarding will be faster, which means they'll get from new agent on your team to first close transaction faster, which means they're more likely to stay on your team, which means they're more likely to be excited about it and tell their friends about it, and maybe get some of their friends to come join your team. So long story short, I love Firepoint. It's a great CRM. So check it out. Go to clubwealth.com/Firepoint, clubwealth.com/Firepoint. And Dale, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we wrap up today?
No, I think we went long enough. The deep dive can happen if they go to clubwealth.com/Firepoint. And we're happy to ask questions of you and figure out what your challenges are, and maybe recommend Firepoint, maybe recommend something else, but help you understand what are some good next steps for you when it comes to CRMs. We're the CRM experts. We have 2 different products in the CRM space, and we go straight to teams and individual agents. We're not a broker solution. There's a lot of solutions out there that go up to the top, and they're trying to get brands and brokerages to buy in. We believe in teams. We believe in individual agents. We think they are the cornerstone, foundational to their communities, and we want to help support you as teams and individual agents. So we'd love to talk with you, and thank you for the time, Michael. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you taking the time with us. Thank you very much, Dale. Guys, go to clubwealth.com/Firepoint. Check it out. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.